His last press conference ended in a bloodbath. Addable refuses to answer to the public about his crimes. Many speculate that Addable will conduct
United Nations in the foreseeable future. The matters that he will discuss is unknown to the public, but we will be keeping a watchful eye on his movements. Although we like to mock the decisions.
We'd like to take a moment of silence for the lives lost that day. We say,
Hey, we send our thoughts and prayers to the families of... Well, now it's time for the...
Power metal is a genre that takes the speed from thrash, but the lyrical themes from heavy. The themes consist of fantasy type shit, slaying dragons. Sometimes it's about the indomitable human spirit, or maybe it's about the war. That's where Sabaton comes in, a Swedish power metal band whose songs usually consist of retelling war stories. With crushing guitarist indie beat behind them. I can't speak for them as a whole because the only album I heard from them was Great War, so if you want to start somewhere, give these selected tracks a try. But I get if you don't want to listen to only war songs, you could pretend to be a pirate for a while with Alstorm, another power metal band that sing about the pirate life. It's not as serious as Sabaton, but if you just want some fun, give them a listen as well. Here's what I recommend. However, if you're one of those chuds who hate the West and everything they stand for and wants to praise the East, first off, let's just get this out the way, you're a loser. And there is a Japanese power metal band you can listen to called X Japan. The band's themes consist of I don't know, I cannot understand it, but it exists, and it is awesome. But hey, power metal is fine. How about we take a break and slow it down? Progressive metal is the most accessible genre of metal. The sounds tend to be more melodic, technical, most importantly, it's a very slow tempo. Lyrics are about fantasy, sometimes personal issues like depression, addiction, all that other shit. The vocal performance here shouldn't scare anyone off. It's some of the most cleanest singing you'll ever hear. And the biggest spearhead of the prog metal scene is none other than Dream Theater. They have some hitters under their belt, but to get an introductory to Dream Theater, listen to the Dance of Eternity just to get a baseline idea of what they do. Then you can listen to Caught on the Web to get used to the vocal performance. And why not In the Name of God, because that song is just glorious. And for the next band I want to recommend, it's a bit of an extremely controversial take. Mastodon is not sludge metal. They are prog metal. Now, many people like to claim Mastodon as a sludge metal band prodigy. That's not the case. Maybe for their first album, but their second album, Leviathan, that's far from sludge. Tracks like Hearts Alive and Sea Beast are amazing prog tracks that don't get enough attention. Now, Blood and Thunder is a good track, but it's severely overrated. People should be praising Iron Tusk. That song don't get talked about enough. And now let me shed some light on how Mastodon works their band structure. You know, the average band structure consists of a rhythm, lead guitarist, bassist, drummer, vocalist. Sometimes the vocalist is the guitarist or the bassist if they have the extra skill. Well, Mastodon does not do that ideology. Why? They all can sing. All the members can sing. Especially their drummer, Bron Daler. That man can sing alright. Now, prog metal is about taking it slow. Slowing down to appreciate the small things and such. But slow is often boring. What if you want to speed it up? Well, speed metal is essentially taking the speed of thrash, doing 12 tons of crack, and going around the world in 2 days. It's about the technicality and playing songs as fast as possible. Usually the themes can be similar to power metal, thrash, or heavy, but sometimes it's just instrumental just to show off the speed that can be achieved. Now the thing with speed metal is that the genre is very versatile, meaning you won't find a lot of clean speed metal, you'll find a lot of black speed metal bands. Don't be scared, don't be a wuss, just give it a try. Now when it comes to recommending a speed metal band, most people will point to this specific one, however, this is not the case. Now, I'm going to bust one of the biggest metal myths of all time. No one has spoken about this. I will be the first one, and I will get this right so people can stop spreading misinformation. From the land of crooked teeth and ugly women comes Motorhead, with the band's greatest frontman, the late Lemmy Kilmister. Now, when it comes to being the pioneers of speed metal, most people will just point their fingers at Motorhead, which I can understand, and their track Overkill doesn't help Lemmy's case at all when they say they only play rock and roll.
They play rock and roll!
The overall BPM for Overkill is 119. That's normal for most songs, but upon listening to it, you think otherwise. Phil Taylor kept playing the drum pattern faster and faster and faster with the aid of a double bass drum to make it sound like there was more going on than it actually was. So to settle this old question, no, Motorhead is not a metal band. They were a rock band. I will say they were the first speed rock band, but metal isn't really accurate. So all the old heads could just sit down, drink their prune juice. So if that was the case, who was the first speed metal band? Wait a minute. So there's a band called Agent Steel. They released this song. It's called Agents of Steel. A song so popular that hundreds of bands covered it. So here are some of the most noticeable ones. One from the band called The Lich King. Many people claim this one is better. I disagree, but to each their own. And one from the Crystal Vipers. The only unique thing about this one is that it's being performed by women. But it's still cool though, it's still cool. Well, it was a band called Exciter, originally went by Hellraiser in 1978, but good luck finding any of their music. But they are the pioneers of speed metal, not Motorhead. And with that, the second part of the guide comes to a close. Now that we've taken over 76 pounds of drugs, we can just chill, mellow, and groove out. Why do I hear rap?
Sure, I'll make nobody's rock, rock, I know, copy, yo. Don't call this